Our That's a good idea. Well, give yourself a raise while you're doing it. And now our Reverend Joanne Boruck is going to talk to us about walking each other home. Reverend Joanne.
Thank you. And good morning, beautiful. Thank you for affirming that back to me. And welcome to this place of teaching, this place of learning, this place for seekers of love and life. Please join me by going within to that secret place of the Most High, into your heart center. And feel the warmth there. That is truth. The heart is the center of life, the center of truth, and of course, the center of love, your home. This morning, I affirm these 5 steps of affirmative prayer. God is, I am, I declare, and I'm grateful, and I let it go. God is peace, power, light, love, truth, joy. All the good things life has to offer are of spirit and of me. I am peace, power, light, and joy. Truth, I am all good. And it gives me a great sense of honor and worthiness when I see that I can raise another up into their truth, into their home, into their hearts. It is great, great privilege. And I do it with ease and grace, with thanksgiving and gratitude for all the ministers here, for the board members, for the congregation, for my friends and family. You all raise me up into my truth, and I'm grateful. And I let this go into the all-knowing mind of the one Spirit, the one God, where it is heard, acted upon and returned, multiplied and overflowing. And together we say, and so it is. Let us take a moment to acknowledge all those who have found their way home to the spirit world. To all those who have found their way home into their own hearts. To all those searching for the way. We hold them in our hearts and in our minds in love. Thank you. When I started writing my talk, I thought, I think I'm going to need a chair. This is so deep and so heavy. But I have to tell you, just like anything else, there is so much good in wisdom. Have you heard this deep, meaningful quote from Ram Dass? It says, "We are all just walking each other home." And you may have heard that phrase in the past and attributed it to those who are walking home to God, to Spirit, to Creator. And for me, that's where I am right now. And that's why I chose this talk. Mostly everything I talk about, it's because something in me needs to be healed. And so that's just something that's happening in my life. And as I talk about this, I know I'm going to heal myself too in some small way. But I have to tell you, as I was researching Ram Dass and the things that he teaches and the story behind that quote, it opened my heart. It opened me into infinity, because that's what that quote means. It is truth. You know, Ram Dass, he coined that phrase for a couple of reasons. And mostly he talked about what that means is we should be there for each other. We should offer support, and we should offer love, and we should offer guidance, not just for those who are searching and finding their way home to spirit, but those who are searching and finding their way home into their heart. And he wants us to know that everything you do, every action, big or small, is meaningful. It makes a difference in someone else's life, because everybody's on a journey. And everything we do is fulfilling for everyone. I have to just walk over here. In essence, we're all walking each other home. Today, you know, I was pretty heavy thinking about my sister and Gord and Penny's mom, Joyce, and Janet. And it just felt so heavy. And then I came in. Laura Lee walks into the office, and guess what? She found me a cherry blossom. She bought it a long time ago and just found it. Thank you. A little bit later, I walked in, and Gord walks up to me, and he says, I have something for you. And he gave me an angel pin. It says, read on it. And I always felt so blessed. And you know how things happen in threes? Well, 2 minutes later, up comes that beautiful pearl. Joanne, come here. She gives me a tattoo of a skull with 3 hearts on and a candy. So I have to tell you that every act of kindness doesn't go unappreciated or unnoticed. You know, I think, for me at least, we're all on a journey of self-discovery and spiritual growth. But isn't it great to come here and feel supported? The people out there that don't know this truth, they need us twice as much. I remember hearing once in a class that said, if you take a flashlight into a room full of light, nobody even notices you. But if you take your light into some place that somebody's dark, you're going to make a big difference. You know, everywhere I looked about walking each other home, I found a different thing, but I did find one theme: the importance of connection, the importance of love, the importance of compassion when all of us are navigating. And of course, you know, the importance of accepting mortality. Because aren't we all just pilgrims? Oh, I love that song. Who does that song? Chris Christopherson, The Pilgrim. He's a poet. He's a picker. He's a prophet. He's a pusher. He's a pilgrim and a teacher and a stranger when he's stoned. And that's, you know, we can all relate to that if you're of that age. We're a walking contradiction, partly truth, partly fiction. That's not in here. Okay. I want to tell you a story about supporting each other. And I want to talk about something I did 10 years ago. Linda Wells, I remember she helped me. I had all these poles for a teepee, and I'd brought some canvas, and we had the kids, and we had people come up, and they all had to hold a pole of the teepee, because one person can't do it on their own. Everybody had to hold a pole. So that reminded me of a story, because everything reminds me of a story. And the story it reminds me of was in the Cree teaching, when they build a teepee, it takes 15 poles. And as I was studying that, it said the first 3 are the most important. And if you take 3 poles and they're not symmetrical, they're not a pyramid, they're standing up straight, forget it. That teepee is not standing up. So the first thing they have are those 3 poles. And in Indigenous culture, every pole has a teaching. And so just the Crees have 15 poles. Other Indigenous tribes have 16. Some have as many as 40 poles, 40 teachings. So the teepee starts with those 3 poles, and in the teaching, they stand for 3 things. And I was really taken aback because I thought, oh, isn't it all just related? When you go to organized religion, they call it the Father, Son, and Holy Ghost. When you come to science of mind, we call it the seed, the soil, and the plant. And in Indigenous teachings, it's called obedience, respect, and humility. So those were the 3 initial poles. And you can't stand them up, just like you can't survive without the thought, the seed, the manifestation, the obedience, the respect, and humility. Boy, we don't hear those words enough in our society. They go on to say those humility, respect, and humility and obedience stand for the Creator, the Son, and the Spirit. Now we're getting closer where we can really see we're all one. Just like those 3 poles, we're all gathered together at the top. And we're like those poles. We need that strength to start us. We need support from our Creator. We need support from each other. We need support. We need humility. And when I was thinking about all the poles, what about when there's 16 poles or when there's 40 poles? What a message that is, that we all still need each other. And when you look at the top of the teepee and all 16 poles, if you look down on it, it really looks like a bird, like a wing. But if you just think about them all intersecting, at the top they're all going in different directions. It doesn't mean that they're going the wrong way, because at some point we're all connected in our heart. So we accept that all of them are going a different way. So that was like just a few things that I learned from it. And then as I was thinking more about the teepee, I noticed it's open at the top. They open it at the top to let smoke out, which is a way of releasing what no longer serves them. Ernest Holmes says, if you're open at the top, there's no limit to what you can bring into your being, to what you can learn. And on top of that, 40 poles, they need 40 rocks to hold those poles. And they need hides. The 40-pole teepee has 28 hides. So let's put that together. You need 40 people to hold the poles, you need 40 people to hold the rocks, and you need 28 people to hold the hides. Wow, that's 108 people it took to build that home. And all the teachings that go along with it. And what a message for us that we need each other. The other good message in that is that we don't have to do it alone, because there's 108 of us that are going to do it. How many beads are on the mala? 128? What? 108. Well, no coincidences. As Vera said, do you need water up there? I said no, but if I don't have water, I'll need it. And if I do have water, I don't. So each of us symbolically have a job to do. I'm talking about walking each other home. And maybe you're a pole holder. Maybe you're a rock giver. Maybe you're a hide carrier. But we can't do it without each other. You know, I've been on quite a journey for this last few years, walking people home to their Creator. And I realized that there's all different jobs for me. Sometimes I was the hide, sometimes I was the rock, and sometimes I was the pole. And in some way, I truly believe that all of those represent our connection to our heart. So I think if the greatest thing we can do is help people find their way home into their own hearts. Donna, thank you. And Vera, next time I am going to listen to you. She was trying to walk me home to my heart. Oh, thank you, thank you. So I don't know what you are, whether you're a rock holder, a pole holder, or a hide holder, but I know that you're important. You're important to me. You're important to the person beside you, in front of you, and behind you. And if you're wondering, emotionally, physically, how can I do that out in the world? How can I be that? Well, I had a couple of ideas. I think the biggest one is to be present. To be present and listen and to be supportive. And to me, supportive doesn't mean, oh, I know what you should do, because there's lots of that out there. To me, being supportive is, how can I support you in whatever decision you make? So that's the first thing. People don't want you to fix them. They want you to hold them up. And remember how interconnected we are and that our actions affect others. We're a part of a larger whole. And the other thing is, find meaning in your relationships with others. Every relationship here for me is something different. Everybody gives me something different. And I cherish every one of them. And as we walk this journey, and people, we might be walking home. Gord too, he's walked his wife home. Maybe it's a reminder to us to cherish all those relationships. Cherish your friendships. And the last thing is to accept the impermanence of life. Because death is just a natural part of living, and our time with our loved ones is so precious. I like to look in the Bible too and say, what does the Bible say about helping others? Well, there was a really good one in Luke chapter 6, verse 38, and it says, give, and it will be given unto you. In good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over, it will be poured into your lap. What a reminder that everything you do comes back to you. I've done a lot of talks on that, because everything you do comes back to you. Not in the way you think, and not from the person you think owes you, and not in the time you want it, but I guarantee you everything you've done, good for somebody, if it hasn't already come back, it's on its way. This month's Science of Mind magazine is called On the Wings of Love. You can't make this coincidence stuff up. What a great message to help each other home on the wings of love. And then I was sitting there, and I like to read through as I'm doing my talk. I opened the book to August 21st. It says, when my life is done. I'm telling you, I don't make this up. I just read it, and it's a reminder how connected we all are. The first sentence is by Shannon Alder, and she says, one of the greatest regrets in life is being what others would want you to be, rather than being yourself. Wow. And Ernest Holmes has a quote that goes on to say, you are each a law unto yourself. Become unto yourself the law of happiness, the law of peace, the law of love, and the law of life. The law of truth and the law of beauty. And go forth and radiate that out into the world. It's your only salvation that will ever come from you into this world, is become unto yourself. And then I want to read you just a little bit of the story. It says, sometimes I imagine it's my final day on earth. Some may think it's morbid, yet for me it keeps me on track and living my best life. When I enter this future moment, I stop and reflect, and I ask, am I living the way I want to live now? On that last day, in that last moment, I want to feel that I discovered the truth of who I am. I want to know I gave and shared that authenticity with others. This will mean leaving this life free of regret. That's just a little part of the story. And I couldn't not put it in my talk because it really just cemented it together. Maybe it's not about walking each other home. It's about being at peace when you get home. When you're home, in your own home. My intention is to be true to myself. And it's a daily intention. I'm working on it every single day because somebody tells me who I am and I decide, oh, I can be that and I can be that. But I want to live out my days without regret. Because as Ram Dass says, we're all just walking each other home. I send great blessings to all who are walking someone home to their Creator. I give great blessings to Laura Lee, who's walking into a new home, into a new life. And there's one place we'll be, our hearts will be there with you. And I know that you'll find peace and love there. And if I can stop crying. In honor of Janet, I wanted to sing you this little verse. And if you know it, you can sing it back to me. May the long-time sun shine upon you, all love surround you, and the pure light within you guide your way home. I am Reverend Joanne Faith, Peace and Love Boruck, and I thank you for walking with me, and I joyously walk with you as we walk each other home. Have an amazing couple of weeks. I'll be away, but I'll be here in heart, and I love you. Thank you.